Hey, peace and assalamu alaikum. Part 2, hysterectomy. I just so happened to be in the hospital. It's not for surgery. It is for the same reason that I was in here the last 2 times. So excessive blood loss and my hemoglobin fell again. Last Tuesday maybe, it had finally climbed up to over 11, which was still lower than it's supposed to be, but for me it's really good. So that's what it was last week, and so my cycle began Monday of this week, and really I immediately started feeling like what I've come to know to be symptoms of low hemoglobin, low iron. But I had to go to the gyno to talk about the whole surgery thing, like which way I was going to go with it. And so, I saw that through. I was kind of cramping and stuff. It was uncomfortable. But then I finished with that and went home, and I had been in bed from Monday until this morning. I came to the ER at 4:30 this morning because I was trying to just kind of like let it pass. I was hoping it would pass, and I don't know what I was hoping. I just didn't want to come back to the hospital, and so I wound up having to come, and so my hemoglobin was 9.6, I think. So it dropped like 2 full points, and last time they checked it, which was about maybe 3 p.m. or so today, it had dropped another 4 points to 8.6. So they were initially keeping me for observation, and then after that recheck, they admitted me and everything. And after that recheck, the doctor came in and asked me, what I wanted to do basically. Did I want to get another iron infusion? Which I said, yeah, because for a couple of things. Well, first of all, a couple of things were on the table, and I guess I get back to that. But I really didn't want to get another infusion because I don't know if you can see, my arm is still pretty bruised from 3 weeks ago when I was in here, and that vein isn't as hard as it was, but it still has not fully healed. So it's like, ugh, I really want to get that, and it burned so much the last time. I had 1 bag of iron. I had 1 bag of iron on for 2 days, and it just, oh my God, it burned so much, and so I was concerned about that. So they did wound up giving me iron, hooking it up to the IV that was already running, like piggybacked it, and I was concerned, but it didn't burn at all, mashallah. The only problem I have is that where they have the IV is right here in the crook. So number one, this thing is constantly beeping if I move the wrong way or whatever, and I just reset it, but or restart it, and it stops. But it's quite annoying because I can't hardly I'm just kind of making sure I keep my arm extended right now, which is why it's not going off. But if I'm trying to eat, if I'm trying to write, if I'm doing anything, it's like, ugh. And thankfully I can use my left hand, but I don't know if you noticed, I don't have on my fingers. That's congenital. So I can get things done. I've never really had a problem not being able to get anything done that I but it can still be awkward sometimes, you know. So, but yeah, so that's the only thing about this this day, this visit. Now, backing up, so it just so happened that when I presented to the ER this morning, my the gynecologist who is going to do my surgery, she was here. So I only met her the one time Monday, and I actually like her a lot. She seems like cool. She seems like she pays attention to certain things that others didn't necessarily do or pay attention to. And so she was like she was weighing just doing the surgery today, but if it wasn't for the fact that I take Eliquis and I had taken my 2 doses yesterday, so they, with Eliquis you have to wait 3 days before you have to stop it for 3 days before any surgery can be done. But I didn't want to get it done anyway because I have to prep for it. I have to prep my home, prep my children. My son has to come up to Pennsylvania and all sorts of things. So that would have been a no-go anyhow, but it was on the table, as well as getting a blood transfusion, because along with my situation now, or this morning, when I came in, I don't have enough blood, so that can cause complications in a few weeks when I do have to do surgery. So we wound up going with the iron, and inshallah that will help me, and I may have to get a transfusion when I come in on the 15th, but that remains to be seen, I suppose. Now, so far as I keep saying surgery because I didn't want to sort of put the cart before the horse. So, as I said in the first part of this topic, is a hysterectomy good for me, or whatever the title is. So, when I decided, basically, is that I just wanted to get a hysterectomy done. But, the more I kept learning about hysterectomy versus an endometrial ablation, of course, they both have their issues because you're literally cutting and or burning, that whole, the reproductive area. And so, long story short, I talked to the gyno and told her I want a hysterectomy. And understand that is not easy for me to say. Oh my God, I cried so much about that. But so, I concluded hysterectomy, no matter how much I don't want it, is the best decision for myriad reasons. But I definitely wanted to keep my ovaries, because when you get rid of the ovaries, you immediately go into menopause. I did not want that. I would rather menopause to come on naturally for me. And I also did not want to get rid of my cervix, because a lot of issues can come from that. One being that your bladder can prolapse and essentially fall out your vagina. Just the idea of that is crazy. And of course, from a sexual standpoint, I'm on a couple of hysterectomy support groups on Facebook, and I would say the vast majority of women say that they have a much better sex life after hysterectomy, like a much better sex life after hysterectomy. Some women say no, like they have pain or dryness, which, some of them can use, like KY jelly and things to help with that. But overall, they say that they have a much better sex life. Now, it depends on what you like. I won't be too graphic, but let's just say people who opt to keep their cervix due to, like, for sexual reasons, it's because they like deep penetration and, things of that nature. So, I want to keep my cervix. But now, they tell you there's a risk of cervical cancer. Like, I guess I don't understand it to mean that you have a greater risk. I could be wrong. It wasn't explained to me in that way. So anyway, I am actually getting a partial hysterectomy per my gyno's suggestion, because my fibroid is pretty big. It's 9 centimeter, and that doesn't seem big, but it's like really big for a fibroid. And it seems to be sort of embedded in my uterus, I guess, and the wall of it, I suppose. And it's on the left side. And so she wants to just cut off the left side of the uterus, and that left side is where the blood vessels are. So I would still not get a cycle, and my uterus would be gosh, I don't want to say it like that. Yeah, I mean, there would be no use for it virtually. That just bugs me out. And when I hear women just talk about it like willy-nilly, like, yeah, we're gonna have a get rid of my uterus party, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm devastated thinking about that. But so my gynecologist, that's what she wants to do. She wants to just cut the left side, which would keep the greater part, at least like 2/3 of the rest of the uterus. She'll get rid of that, sew me up. She's also going to take the tubes, because she said that could be a risk for cancer, and there's literally no use for the tubes if there's nothing going on with the uterus. So she's going to take out those two things. Also, I'm going to get an old school cesarean cut, because she thinks that the reason she doesn't want to take the whole uterus and also do a cesarean cut is because of my health condition. And so it would be less risky, and my healing would be, better and quicker, inshallah. So that's what's going down with that. That's what I'm getting done. And again, I'm really, really torn up about it, because I'm 48 years old. Chances are, well, I won't say chances are, but logically, it really wouldn't make sense for me to have another child right now at this age. But the truth is, I've always been fascinated with, making babies since I was a little girl, like a toddler. I've been blessed to have had 4 pregnancies, 4 children, 5 children, and they're still living, mashallah. So I've never had any complications with pregnancies other than, I mean, I get sick as a dog, but so far as birthing, I've never had an issue. In fact, my last child, we had her at home unassisted, like on purpose. um, what else was I going to say? I just always wanted children. I love birthing. I just love that whole thing. I love nurturing. You know, I just love my children. I mean, I guess most people do. And we're very, very close. I homeschool all of them. I'm right now going into my 23rd year of homeschooling. We're just a very close-knit family, and although I know that logically it wouldn't be the smart thing to have another child. Plus, I'm not married, so that would be an issue, I guess. Not that you need to be married to have a baby, but you know what I'm saying. But having a hysterectomy, now the option is not even there anymore. And I was thinking today, because I feel I've never lost a child, I've never miscarried or aborted or anything like that. So I'm sure that I cannot relate to women who have gone through that. But I will say, this really, really feels like real to me. Child, I'm about to get emotional. Get a grip. It just feels real to me. I literally feel like I'm losing a child. And I was thinking today, and I wonder if part of that is because about maybe 3 years ago, I just kept having recurring dreams about babies. Like from infants and maybe like like a 1-year-old toddler or something like that. Maybe even like a 2 or 3-year-old sometimes. And it would just recur. And at one point, it was literally every night I was dreaming about babies. And it was really, really scary for me because I'm like, this is not just happening. It's way beyond a coincidence. So, like, why? Like, why is it going on? I would do all this researching about dreams from a Native perspective, from an African perspective, from a Caribbean perspective. I would ask people because I have a lot of friends who are like African-centered and, Native friends. And, all these reasonings or answers that I got, they just never ever made sense to me. And then all of a sudden they just stopped. And then every once in a while I'll have a dream again. And so I had an idea today. It was almost an epiphany if it's correct. But I think that those dreams made me feel like I was going to have another child or two. And so now that I know I cannot, I think that's also part of what's really affecting me. Yeah, she was my therapist, whoever's watching this. So anyway, I know that I'm going to really go through it emotionally. I'm already going through it emotionally. And so I'm trying to actually prepare for that within my prep for the surgery and for my aftercare and healing and all that. I am I'm keeping all of that in mind about my mental and emotional health with dealing with this in particular. So that's what it is. I'm going to get this partial hysterectomy, inshallah. And hopefully I will never have to be in the hospital again for bleeding too much, for my iron dropping too low, for none of that. And inshallah everything will work out. I'm I'm scared to death about the surgery though, aside from me not being able to have children anymore. I've never ever had surgery. I've never been put to sleep. Oh my gosh, there's just so many things surrounding this that, I mean, I don't know, I may not even wake up. This may be my time. This may be my destiny, you know, of transitioning from this world. I don't know. So, anyway, that's the gist of it. So, I will keep on posting. And the other great thing about this health situation, once I get through the surgery and hopefully get a lot healthier, I can move on to other type of videos on this channel. I had no intention of the channel becoming so based in health and my own health journey, because when I began it, I did not know I was sick. So yeah, that'd be awesome. So I can do some other things. Hopefully I'll have my energy back and everything. And like whatever sewing tutorials, cooking, whatever it is I'm gonna do, vlogs, whatever. But to move it, kind of steer it away from so much health stuff, because that is boring. So okay, that's enough of me running my mouth. And I hope everybody is doing well, and I will keep you posted on my health journey. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.